You'll never be more than an assistant, so don't even bother trying. That sentence lived rent-free in my head for months, burned there like the smell of burnt coffee in the break room. It wasn't just what he said. It was how he said it, in front of everyone, with a chuckle, like he was doing me a favor by reminding me of my place. My name's Ethan Cole, and this is the story of how my arrogant boss tried to kill my ambition, and I responded by launching a business right next door, one that would bankrupt his company, steal his clients, and eventually have him begging for a job, cleaning the bathroom in my office. Yeah, buckle up. Back then, I worked as a glorified assistant at a marketing agency called Titan Creative, a small but well-connected firm in the city. My boss, Rick Holloway, was one of those execs who had coasted into success during the early digital marketing boom and somehow convinced himself he was Steve Jobs meets Gordon Ramsay. In reality, he was a suit with a short fuse, a longer ego, and a talent for taking credit for other people's work. The first 6 months, I tried to play the game. Arrive early. Stay late. Bring solutions. Stay humble. But the more I showed initiative, the more Rick treated me like a threat. Every idea I pitched mysteriously became Rick's vision. Every success was teamwork, and every mistake somehow trickled down to me. Still, I kept grinding. I figured if I worked hard enough, someone, anyone, would notice. Then came that team meeting. I had just finished presenting a content strategy one spent an entire weekend perfecting. The client loved it. My coworkers even clapped. And then I did the unthinkable. I asked about a promotion. Rick leaned back in his leather chair, smirked, and said, "Promotion? You're the assistant, Ethan. You fetch coffee. You chase invoices. Be grateful for that. You're not getting promoted. You'll never be more than this." The room went dead silent. I forced a tight smile, nodded, laughed like it was a joke. It wasn't. That night, I didn't drink, cry, or rage. I plotted. The next morning, I bought a cheap whiteboard and wrote one phrase in red marker. Project Ficus. Because even a plant had more growth potential than me, apparently. It started small. I reached out to old college friends, people way more talented than they were being paid for. A brilliant coder named Jess, a branding wizard named Leo, and a digital strategist named Ria, who could convince a toaster to subscribe to a newsletter. We met after hours in cafes, basements, and co-working spaces, pitched ideas, laughed, dreamed. Within 3 months, we pooled enough money to lease a tiny office in the same building as Titan Creative, just 1 floor below. I walked past that office every day to get to Rick's kingdom. No one suspected a thing. We named our company Catalyst & Company. Short, punchy, full of fire. We offered lean, ultra-personalized marketing packages to startups and small businesses, things Rick's bloated agency wouldn't touch. At first, it was slow. One client here, one there. But we made sure every single one was treated like royalty. We didn't just deliver results, we over-delivered. We turned marketing into a conversation, not a transaction. Then we got lucky. One of Titan's biggest clients, Veltrix Tech, was unhappy with their latest campaign. Their rep, Emily, came to a networking event where Ria was giving a talk. Ria slid her a sample of our work. Emily called us the next day. I still remember her words. "This is what we've been asking for. Fresh. Smart. Human. Not whatever Rick's been peddling." We signed Veltrix by the end of the week. Rick had no clue. Over the next 4 months, we stole 3 more of Titan's top clients. We didn't go after them. They came to us, fed up with slow turnarounds, inflated pricing, and Rick's smug attitude. Inside Titan, the walls were crumbling. Rick's temper got worse. People started quitting. Rumors swirled about mass layoffs. I played dumb. Still brought him his coffee. Still acted like I couldn't figure out how to use the copier. Then, one Friday afternoon, I heard shouting from Rick's office, followed by silence. An hour later, we got the email. Titan Creative would be downsizing. Half the team gone. Effective immediately. I left that day early. I had an off-site client meeting. The client? My own company. 3 weeks later, I walked into Catalyst to find my assistant looking pale. "There's someone here to see you." Says his name is Rick Holloway. Boom. I stepped into the lounge, and there he was, creased suit, messy hair, eyes flickering between fake confidence and sheer panic. "Ethan," he beamed. "Man, look at this place. Didn't even realize you were running the show next door. Good for you." I just stared. "You're here for a reason, Rick." He cleared his throat. "Yeah, Well, you know how it is. Business is tough. Layoffs hit me hard. Just looking for something steady. Doesn't have to be executive. Hell, I'll take anything. I'm a team player. I let that hang in the air. Then I leaned in and said, "So you're saying you're willing to start at the bottom?" He hesitated. "Yeah, if that's what it takes." I slid a contract across the table. He signed it without reading it. That Monday, Rick started work at Catalyst and Company as a janitor, assigned specifically to the executive suite on floor 4, which meant he cleaned my office bathroom, took out my trash, polished the glass doors with our logo printed in gold across them, the same doors he used to walk past without a second glance. I'll be honest, it felt incredible. Petty? Maybe. But sometimes karma needs a little help. I made sure he worked the late shift. I made sure his uniform was one size too small. I even added an Employees of the Month board. His photo went up under Sanitation Specialist of the Quarter. But here's the twist. After a few weeks, something changed. One night, I caught him lingering outside a strategy meeting. He wasn't eavesdropping, just watching. Curious. A week later, he asked if he could shadow one of the junior analysts. Not to get ahead, he said. Just to learn. Stay sharp. I let him. Slowly, he started contributing. First, as a janitor who just happened to offer feedback on copy drafts. Then as a temp research assistant. Then a junior campaign coordinator. And you know what? He got better. Humbled. Focused. One day, he brought me coffee. No smirk. Just thought you could use one. We never became friends. But we reached an understanding. Rick stopped trying to be a boss and started trying to be useful. I eventually promoted him to full-time strategy associate. He earned it. But I never changed his Thursday shift. Every Thursday at 3 p.m., Rick still cleans the executive bathroom. Mine. Not because I need him to, but because he needs to remember. And honestly, so do I.